Hello, I'm Keith Spera from NOLA.com and the Times-Picayune. Welcome to Let's Talk. My guest today literally grew up in Mardi Gras Indian culture. His father was Dollis, the legendary big chief of the Wild Magnolias tribe, who stamped his raspy voice on Honda Wanda, New Suit, Smoke My Peace Pipe, and other classic songs of the genre. His son now leads the current incarnation of the Wild Magnolias. His 2025 album, Chip Off the Old Block, finds common ground between Mardi Gras Indian funk and Memphis soul. Here to talk about all that and more is Gerard Dollis, aka Big Chief Dollis Jr. Welcome, sir, to Let's Talk.
Man, thank you.
Did that sound familiar, that intro?
Yes, that sounds like me all the way.
So let me ask you a practical question first. How many times have you pricked your finger while sewing on your Indian suits?
Oh, every time I pick up a patch. it just happens to me. And then when you start bleeding, it's the old tradition that you're supposed to wipe the blood on your patch.
Really?
Yeah, so it's just like tears, sweat, and blood going into it.
Wow.
So you're sweating on Mardi Gras because you got all that heavy stuff on and the blood from sewing.
Wow. So you literally have bloody patches that are on.
Most of the time, but I think got so good, like I very seldom do it, but when I do it, I'll wipe it on there and keep on going.
Do you use a thimble?
I can't sew with a thimble.
Can't sew with a thimble?
No, you know, I can't get the groove like I want to and stuff like that.
Well, now so has it gotten quicker for you to make your suit every year? I mean, that you've been doing it for so many years.
Well, I'm not gonna say it get quicker, but it gets a little easier. So I know like little shortcuts. I know how to put things together. I ain't gotta kind of figure it out no more because I've been doing it so long. So I know where I'm going with things now. Right.
You have you know what you're in for.
I have a format. Just like right now I'm beading my apron. So I know by Christmas I'll be done beading my apron and I get everything else out the way.
Wow. I mean, here as we're talking here, it's summer. So you're already like hard at work.
Oh, I've been sewing since the Friday after last Mardi Gras.
The Friday? So it's a year-round
Yeah, it's a
occupation.
year-round, yeah.
That's crazy. Wow. Do you have any idea like how many beads end up on one of yours?
Oh, Lord, I don't know. I know it's a lot. Yeah, it's gotta be thousands on one Indian suit. That goes for everybody. You know, the bigger it is, the more beads you're using.
Is there one in your history that kind of stands out as one of your best?
Lord, that's a good one. I think I wore black after my dad passed away, and I dedicated the whole Indian suit to him. Mm. And on back of my headpiece was his whole body. Mm. And it had his face and his whole Indian suit and everything. So I think I had a lot of good ones, but I think that's the one that's gonna stand with me the most.
Well, yeah, just the emotional quality.
Yeah, that was like one of the hardest Indian suits I ever made, just because I had to look at his face on all the patches, and I did all the Indians from his first album. They call us Wild. I did all the Indians on that one. Then on my apron was all the last Indians and stuff like that. Mm. My headpiece was me, my mom, and my dad. So It was just a whole thing for him.
Wow, sounds like that one may have been a little blood, sweat, and tears maybe.
Yes, that was the real tears there, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, so growing up, when did you get a sense that, what your dad was doing was special? Not just, what he did with the Indians on the street, but just his music career. I mean, when did you get a sense that your dad was like a cat that was special and important?
Me growing up, he just was dad for me. Mm-hmm. I'm waking up every morning, he was laying down or he in the front room, so it wasn't nobody special to me. Then walking, I used to go to the Riverwalk and walk with my friends in the Riverwalk, and I hear him singing over the intercom. I'm like, okay, hold on, now this is going a little bit too far. I can't go nowhere without hearing your voice. But I think I got older, and he had kind of started getting a little ill once he got older, and I'm traveling with him and stuff like that. I had a lady, like she really like about to pass out because she wanted to meet him.
Oh, wow.
And her hand started shaking, and I'm looking at him like, come on, Dad, stand over here, because they about to bring this lady to the ambulance or something wrong with her. But she literally was trying to get to him, so the security guards like brought her to him, and the only thing she wanted to do was touch his hands.
Wow.
And my mom always has a joke with him, like, who you think you is, Elvis Presley? And it was just so funny, but like, me traveling with them, and people going crazy, going away to Japan, we get in the airport and they got banners up in the airport waiting on them.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, yeah, you really do think you Elvis Presley. And he fell out laughing. It's just different things I could write a book on that made him so special about it.
Well, and that's got to be special to, not just in New Orleans, but when you go around the world. You go to Japan and you see how much reverence there was for him and that music he created.
I mean, because it's, Japan, they can't even speak English.
Right.
And we on stage and they singing word for word. And I'm like, y'all really know Nusu? And y'all singing it? And I tell y'all hello, y'all looking at me like I'm crazy. But hey, and I grew up with this and I just love it.
I mean, but how wild is that to think, no pun intended, wild, that songs that were born right there on Dryades Street or whatever are now known
all over the world.
Japan, all over the world.
I mean, it is so crazy because, we went to the club in Japan. Like, we'll have little drinks and stuff. They started playing Peace Pipe. And I'm like, okay, they knew we in here, or they just play. The man said, oh no, they play this on the regular.
Really? That's a normal part of
That's normal part of their little tracks. And I'm like, okay. So I went back to the hotel, I told my dad, he was like, you serious? I was like, yeah. My dad was never the person to go out and stuff like that. And he was just like, he was astounded about it too. It just be crazy because I still hear certain things now. It kind of get me a little emotional. People's stories, him singing and stuff like that still is going on to these days.
Well, yeah, because now he passed, it's been, what, more than 10 years?
Yeah,
at this point,
2015.
2015, yeah, right, so around a decade it's been gone.
Yeah.
But the songs he recorded with the Wild Magnolias originally were early 70s.
Correct.
I mean, the songs are 50 plus years old already and haven't gone, they're still fresh.
Even a lot of Indians, they'll tell me like, we don't feel like it's Mardi Gras till we hit Honda Wanda. Or we don't feel like it's Mardi Gras till we hit New Suit, then we really start sawing, we start pumping. So it's just that he made a big contribution to Mardi Gras Indians.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you're just tuning in, my guest today is Gerard Dollis, AKA Bo Dollis Jr. So when did you know that you wanted to be a part of that tradition? Was this something from birth, or is this something you had to work up to?
I could say it's really from birth. Me looking at it, and it was like, oh no, I want to do this. But my mom was so scared because back in the days, Indians used to really fight each other. So my mom was like, oh no, my baby's not going out there.
Right.
So by the time I turned 8, 9 years old, I'm gonna say about 7, I started helping my dad with certain things. Either it was me putting little stones on the sticks or any little thing that I could help with, I help. So I turned 8, 9, and I was like, I want to start beading. My dad had a cookie can, like the Christmas cookies, full of beads, sequins, and stuff like that. My mom had an old purse that my grandfather got from overseas, had full of beads. I cut the purse up. She never wore the purse now. I cut the purse up, got the beads off, and started sewing. The day I cut it, the day she go look for it.
Oh my gosh. That didn't go well, sure. Yeah.
So I didn't get in trouble too bad. She called my dad, was like, you better come get your child before you don't have no child. Like that. And my mom was like, okay, I'm gonna let you mask 1 year, but you gotta do good in school. You gotta keep your room clean. I got on the honor roll.
Okay, so you were motivated.
My room was so clean you could eat off the floor. I started waxing the floors and everything. Started sewing, and 1 year led to 2 years, 2 years led to 3 years, and I'm going on 30-something years now.
Wow. Well, and now being part of the beading tradition is one thing, because obviously that's a big part of the Indian culture.
Right, correct.
Sons come up and they do it. But to then jump into the Wild Magnolias band and start singing, was that something that came naturally to you to get out there and sing?
I did not expect to do none of that.
Okay.
Like, even to right now, I didn't expect to even be a chief. I just thought I was gonna be an Indian with my dad forever and keep on going. The band situation, I traveled with my dad since I was 13. So I was traveling with him. He wound up falling ill. Even before he fell ill, he'll take a break. I'll do 1, 2 songs. He'll come back on, get finished. Once he fell ill, I had to pick it up. I wasn't about to just let it die like that. Once I started picking it up, he'll come on and do a song with me, get the crowd going crazy. Every show I let him come up. I never like, oh no, you can't come up on this show. Every show he came up and did his thing. And it just kept going from there. And it was a hard battle to fight because everybody was looking for a Bo Dollis Senior.
Sure.
My first gig was at Tipitina's.
Oh gosh.
Right. So you can imagine my nervousness. It was a sold out show. And I'm like, okay, I got to go to Tipitina's. You know, this where everything started at for some people.
Right.
And it was just there from there. But it was a hard challenge for me to get out of his footsteps and kind of make my own little path.
Well, yeah, I mean, you and a million sons, I mean,
Right.
it's always the thing. When you got a successful father and you, especially if you go into the same realm as them,
Correct.
you know, that's a heavy thing. But again, you couldn't resist.
I couldn't. There was a few times I wanted to say, I quit and stuff like that, but I kept fighting the battle and kept going.
Well, and you've done other things along the way. I mean, you cut hair. I mean, if you still do you still cut hair?
Yeah.
So you had another career as well, but you knew that music was going to be a part of it no matter what.
Music is my main thing. Cutting is when I'm not busy with the music, you know, just have something to do on a backlight. But music and Mardi Gras Indians is my front line. You know, even when I finish one album, I jump on another one just to start writing on something like that. So music and Mardi Gras Indians is always on my front line. That's my heart.
That's it. Well, speaking of new records, in 2025 here, you've put out a great new record called Chip Off the Old Block. First off, I have to say, it's such a charming photo of you and your dad on the front cover. You sitting on his lap, you got to be about what, 8 or 9 maybe in that picture, something like that?
Probably about, younger than that, probably about 6. I was tall for my age, so I was probably about 6, 7 on that.
Okay, all right,
Yeah.
okay. And you got that kind of very groovy, like 70s sofa or something that he's sitting on. It's
That's the early 80s.
Early 80s.
So you can tell like the furniture and everything, and even the way he dressed, the way I'm dressed. So it's just, I was a daddy's child. I really like, whenever you saw my dad, you saw me. If he's going to the second line, I'm gonna be at the second line. And I think that's how I got tied up into the music thing, because everywhere he went, he did not tell me like, I had to stay home. He made a way for me to come with him. I remember going to like certain radio stations, and the people had me pressing buttons when it's time for me to press the button and stuff like that. So it's just different things. So this album here is real special to me because like I'm gonna chip off the old block because I do the same things he do. You know, I bring my daughters with me wherever they want to go. They get on stage with me and stuff like that.
You have one with you here in the studio today?
I have one in the studio with me because she was not gonna let me come up myself.
I love it. If you're just tuning in, my guest today is Gerard Dollis, AKA Bo Dollis Jr. So this record, as I said in the intro, it kind of combines New Orleans, Mardi Gras Indian funk, and Memphis soul. It's a bit of a blend. How did that, what was the genesis idea there? How did that come about?
So Take Me to the River, I do a lot of touring with them.
And for folks that don't know, Take Me to the River is kind of a New Orleans all-star project.
Correct. Yeah.
That features a bunch of different musicians. They usually do a show at Jazz Fest.
At Jazz Fest, I'm at the Joy. But they do take it all over the seas and stuff like that. So
you do a bunch of those. You do a bunch of those shows with those guys. Would Take Me to the River.
Right.
Yeah.
And Memphis have an all-star band. So one time I joined with the Memphis band, and I came up, and they caught on with it. I'm like so scared because the guys are kind of older and stuff like that. I'm like, ooh, okay, this is gonna be kind of weird. And it's the High Rhythm section, which is Al Green's old band.
The High Records, their rhythm section.
Yeah.
Those are the guys that are in the team.
No, that's the name of the band, High Rhythm section. And that's Al Green's old band. So they got in there and it was like, we'll do an album together. I'm like, yeah, okay. And so
you were a little intimidated by that.
Yeah, I was, you know.
Yeah.
And then we go to where Al Green recorded at and stuff like that with Boo Mitchell. And I mean, I go walk in there, they got all Al Green's, Grammys, gold records, Tina Turner's. And Tina Turner's like one of my biggest crushes, you know, when I was a kid and stuff like that. So when you go in there, you got to start singing. You know, you can't just go in there playing.
Right.
And so did a few gigs with them. We all got a friendship with each other. And here we came.
So it really came from that one show together where y'all realized, hey, there's some common ground here. Did you find, I mean, playing with those guys, because I mean, obviously Memphis soul is a different vibe than New Orleans funk and especially Mardi Gras Indian music. Did you find that you had to adjust anything that you were doing?
I did. I started adjusting on my last album, dealing with Cyril Neville.
Yep.
And he produced my last album. So he took me from doing reggae to a little bit of R&B and stuff like that, Zydeco. So I really had to adjust quick. So me coming to this one, I had to kind of adjust and take my time and learn everything and get it funky like how I would do in New Orleans, but still keep the soul of Memphis.
Right, that's the key. I mean, you got to have it both. And you have some of your guys on the record as well. It's
Yeah.
not just the Memphis guys on it as
Right,
well. So
right.
so y'all got to do it together. One of the highlights, I think, is definitely Hard to Handle. This is a song that Otis Redding did originally.
Mm-hmm.
The Black Crowes recorded it, and now you do it on this record with Angelica Jelly Joseph,
Yeah.
who sings with Galactic,
Correct.
amongst many other things she does. Man, that's going toe to toe with Jelly Joseph on your record. That's a real singer.
And then it's just to the point that we reversed it, because the original song is like the man's point of view.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of reversed it and made it to the woman's point of view. And I grew up with Jelly, like we kind of grew up in teenage years. So we kind of played around and kind of went back and forth, like we were challenging each other a little bit on it. So it was fun, because anybody who knows Jelly, she's a very outgoing, joyful person.
Mm-hmm.
So in the studio, she's on 3,000.
Amped up all the way.
All the way. And that's early in the morning. Look, that's before I even get the coffee.
She's ready to roll.
That's it.
Now, and y'all recorded in Memphis, or
We recorded it in Memphis. Yes.
Okay, all right,
Yes.
and the whole record was done up there, or just a little bit of
Boston,
it here, a little
we
bit.
did some down here, like the stuff with the Indians and stuff. I did down here, but like 80% of the record was done in Memphis.
Now, you wrote a couple of the tracks, including the opening track, Young Time Indians / Indian Red, with Cody Dickinson
Correct.
from North Mississippi All Stars,
Yes.
correct? So, did you feel like he was kind of dialed into your thing, and or was it kind of you adjusting to his? Because obviously North Mississippi All Stars, kind of a blues-based rock thing coming out of Mississippi. How did that summit work?
And once again,
for you
even
guys?
with Cody did one song with Cody at Tipitina's. He invited me to come over, and he was like, I just want you to do 2 songs with the band, and that's it. So did 2 songs, and they loved it. You know, the high energy. And with Young Time Indians, is about all the young Indians who passed away before their time.
Mm.
You know, one guy was named Toby. He got hit on a motorcycle. Like the truck split him in half.
Mm.
And so a lot of Indians, I want the names to keep going, because we should be all around the same age. If they wouldn't have passed away at a young age. So all the guys on there that I'm singing about is Young Time Indians that passed away before their time. And Cody felt where I was coming from and went to his house. I started singing it, and it went there.
Mm. So it was. I mean, he was definitely interested in learning about what you were.
Yeah,
where you were
he
coming
wanted to know where I was coming from and what the story was behind it. And then when I told him the story behind it, he put the music on that, went to his house, and that was the foundation for it.
Wow. And then you work in Indian Red, the traditional thing in it, which is kind of a salute to Indians.
So in other words, the reason why we did Indian Red, because at an Indian funeral or procession, we always sing Indian Red.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of made a sense that I'm singing about the guys who passed away to put Indian Red with it. And that's like the Indians' Our Father prayer. I'm gonna say it like that. That's just like our prayer every morning.
You know, I remember when Tootie Montana, the great chief, was speaking to the city council, and he collapsed and died, and the other Indians in the room,
and that's the first thing they started singing.
Indian Red right there in the
when that
council
happened,
chamber.
I was on the road with my dad, and some kind of way we found out. I don't remember how we found out. I think I was the first one to find out, and I went to my dad's room and told him what happened. And he was like, "You serious?" And then, so I know him and Tootie kind of had a little relationship, because they were kind of the older ones at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So when we found that out, and that's the first thing they started doing, is singing Indian Red. Even when they brought him to the hospital, the Indians outside the hospital singing Indian Red.
Mm.
So it's just even like my dad passed, you would have thought it was Mardi Gras Day from my house, you know, because all the Indians came out and they were sitting out there until the body left out the house. And so when our body left out the house, I don't remember, because I can't remember that day that clearly, but somebody just bust out with Indian Red. Mm. And that's when they can't pick the body up and
sang it at
the same time.
The body exit, as your dad's body exit. Wow.
Right.
It's a powerful song, and when you apply it in moments like that, I mean, it's just incredibly, incredibly powerful. So so it makes complete sense that you would put it in the song that's a tribute to these guys that have passed before their time. You wrap the record up with Indian Here They Come, which is a traditional song as well.
Right, correct.
But I like the fact that kind of brings the album back
all together,
back to New Orleans and brings it home.
And that's one of my favorite songs. Anybody could tell you that's in the Indian world, I will sing that all the way from here to downtown. Between that and Little Elijah Jane is one of my 2 favorite songs.
Really, and, Little Liza's Jane has been, sung a bazillion times by a bazillion artists.
Correct.
But yet you're not tired of that thing? You still like
with Mardi Gras Day, you just got to find different songs to keep your crowd going because you're walking so much, you have to keep yourself energized.
Right.
And my suits be hundreds of pounds, so I'm singing and trying to walk with it. I got to sing something that's going to keep me going. I don't want to sing nothing slow, and then I'm going to get tired.
Right.
So I'm with you. Like so many people did Little Liza Jane, from second line groups to Mardi Gras Indians to anybody. But that's just one I just love to sing.
Mm. Well, I mean, there's a reason it's stuck around for so long.
Right.
I mean, it's a great song.
Correct.
It's a great traditional song. Wait, and did you say it doesn't weigh hundreds of pounds? I mean, wait, the suit, does it really weigh that much? Hundreds?
Yeah.
How much does that thing? I mean,
So I think my last one, I did pink and yellow. I could estimate say that one probably weighed a good 400 pounds with everything.
Well, so how is that? How are you carrying something like that?
It's just a spirit moving you.
Oh my gosh!
Because you could carry it. Now, don't get me wrong. It's not heavy when I'm carrying it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I take it off, I feel every pain. I feel every pain when I take it off. But while I have it on and I'm singing and I got the crowd cheering me on, the bass drums are going, the tambourines are going, I don't feel nothing.
Hmm. Well, and that's one of the incredible things about what you guys do. I mean, especially like at Jazz Fest, and you often wear the full suits at Jazz Fest. Sometimes you don't. I think.
Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I do. Like sometimes I'll come up there with everything on, mm-hmm. and then I'll go in the bag, change, and put a suit on, and then come back and finish the show off.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know how it's possible, because it's hot at Jazz Fest sometimes.
Yes.
How it's possible to...
And a lot of Indians pass out for Jazz Fest.
Do they really?
Yes. Because some Indians do parades around.
Right.
So
around the infield. Right.
That's hot.
Yeah.
I ain't seen second liners pass out, because they be having the little second line suits on, but it just be hot Jazz Fest time.
Oh, man, yeah, it's... paying the cost to do it, to represent.
Yes, even going with Jazz Fest, Jazz Fest knew all the time you reaching 98 to 100 degrees sometime on a good day.
Well, on the stage when you're working like that,
yeah,
I mean, it's you're wearing all this stuff. I tend to not wear feathers and beads at Jazz Fest. I try to go minimal.
We go as low as possible.
And even so, I'm still hot. So we've got about 4 or 5 minutes left here. I mean, talk a little bit about Mardi Gras Indian or Black Masking Indian culture. Mm-hmm. I mean, which of the terms do you prefer? Do you go with Mardi Gras Indian or Black Masking Indian?
I grew up on Mardi Gras Indians. Mm-hmm. I'm not shy from neither one of them. Mm-hmm. But I go with either one. But Mardi Gras Indians is what I grew up on.
Which would make sense because the songs that came out of your household, your dad. I mean, those are the soundtrack to Mardi Gras, the carnival. Yes, I mean, those songs are so associated with Mardi Gras, so it would make sense. So overall, I mean, what do you think? Which, as we speak again here in the summer of 2025, what is your take on the state of Mardi Gras Indian culture? Does it feel healthy? Does it feel like it's in a resurging period? Is it resetting itself? I mean, how does it feel overall to you?
Well, with Mardi Gras Indians, it's just like a time. Everything changes with time. Mm-hmm. I remember the old cell phones, it'd be flip phones, and now we got these flat phones. Mm-hmm. Mardi Gras Indians back in the days use old chicken feathers out their backyard and fish scales. So now we're using rhinestones and stones. So time changes, but Indians now I think is very healthy. Mm-hmm. Every year you got new Indians coming out, you got more people that want to try it, you got more kids that want to try it, which I love. I love to have kids do it because I started as a kid.
Right.
They might be the next Dollis. They might be the next Monk Boudreaux. They might be the next big time Indian or something like that. So I love to see kids come in it. But right now I see more kids coming in. I see more grown-ups coming in. So I think it's more healthier and is getting, the fun is still in it. Well, for me, the fun is still in it.
Well, and you mentioned Monk Boudreaux, who of course, sang with your father for many years, partners in the Mardi Gras Indian, or the Wild Man Noise band. The fact that, an elder statesman like that is still around and still active, that's crucial to continuing the tradition, because these younger guys can learn from them and learn from you, who now, I mean, you're getting to be a veteran at this point. Yeah. I mean, you've been...
And it's crazy because a guy came to me, it was a few of us standing around, and he was like, y'all the elders. And we looked at him like, boy, if you don't go sit down somewhere, we ain't no elder. But you got to come to the fact that, we about to start being the elders now, so... I love to see kids coming in and doing their thing.
Do any of your kids do it?
Both of my daughters do it. I have a son that does it too when he wants to. He's been working now, so he got that feel of money now, so he's working. But both of my daughters do it, and they keeping the tradition going. You know, they really culture babies. They do Mardi Gras Indians. They second line with the children buck jumpers, and they baby dolls. So they really culture kids.
They are. I mean, they're culture kids. They're New Orleans kids.
Right.
I mean, not just culture. They're like New Orleans culture kids. I mean, it's crazy. Had you brought your kids up in some other place, they'd be totally different. I mean,
Correct.
None of that stuff.
Correct. But there ain't no place like New Orleans. I know I travel the world, and I tell anybody I love to go visit certain places, but I love New Orleans altogether.
Well, and thanks to, you know, your legacy of what your father's done, other people, I mean, New Orleans culture has gone all over the world.
Correct.
And so you can feel a little bit at home when you're in some of these other places, when you go in a club, like you said, in Japan, and hear your dad's music coming over the thing, and now your stuff. Well, again, I really think the new record is really good. It's a really neat idea to do that blend of Memphis soul and New Orleans funk. You know, it's not something I would have thought of off the top of my head.
I wouldn't have thought of it either, but the guy who thought it would take me to the river, I mean, Mark, like his brain just goes all over. You know, he just thinks of everything. And putting two things together, I would have never thought about it.
Well, apparently his brain went right up to Mississippi from New Orleans to Memphis, and there it is. Well, very good. Well, Chip Off the Old Block, it's a great record. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you for coming on the show today.
Oh, thank you for having me.
All right.
Always.
Once again, this has been Gerard Dollis, a.k.a. Bo Dollis Jr. I am Keith Spera, and I will see you next time on Let's Talk.